If you're tired of farming gold in overcrowded spots and making nothing, this video is for you. Today I'm presenting you 13 alternative gold farming spots. And just to say in advance, I will not rank them by best to worst or vice versa. You will need to choose what works best for you. Let's start. Spot number 13. Outer of Quel'Drak. Zul'Drak in itself is an underestimated zone, but you can farm some decent gold here. This spot is good because no matter how much times I tried to farm here, I never had any competition. You farm both eternal air and 1 to 3 boring leather from each mob skinned. The mobs also drop green and blue items and, the most important, they drop arctic fur. Because there is a lot of farms where mob drop leather but not arctic fur. The only issue that I can think of is that you need to have a well-geared character because the mobs are elites and they hit pretty hard. But as you can see in the time-lapse, I'm easily doing it with my Shadow Priest. Most people think that you need a Paladin or DK for farms like this, but it's easily managed even with a Druid or a Priest. And as you can see, for around 10 minutes of farming, we got 292 gold. That means it's around 1750 gold per hour. But it's worth mentioning that we were not lucky and didn't manage to get any arctic fur. So maybe if we farmed longer, the numbers will go up. Spot number 12. Skholomance. Again in Zul'Drak, Skholomance is a different story. Here you don't need a strong character at all, and the mobs hit a lot lighter. The good thing about this spot is that the mobs drop boring leather, arctic fur, Nerubian chitin, green and blue items, and even damaged necklaces. This is pretty good and the drop rates aren't even that low, so you should definitely give it a shot. Worth mentioning also is that if you have mining, there is a lot of mining nodes spawning in the area, so you can make some nice extra profit. There's cobalt and even saronite. And as you can see, for around 10 minutes of farming we got 360 gold, which means it's around 2137 gold per hour. Better than the last spot, but we got a little bit luckier because we got the arctic fur here. Before we continue to the next spot, I know that many people will ask for the add-on that I'm using to track the gold per hour. I just want you to know that I put up a lot of work to fix the backported version to actually work with the auction house prices. If we reach 100 likes on the video, I will post my fixed version of Kiwi Farm for private Wrath of the Lich King servers, plus the only working auctioneer version with the add-on. So smash that like button. Thank you. Spot number 11. Highland Mustangs farming in Grizzly Hills. Now we move on to Grizzly Hills, and here is maybe the most chill farm so far. As you can see, and you have most likely seen already while leveling, there is a large group of Highland Mustangs that spawn here. Actually there is 3 packs, as you will see in the time-lapse now. They are pretty easy to kill, they do drop arctic fur, they also drop boring leather and leather scraps. And, not to forget, they drop green items and blue items. At first you might think that this is not worth it, but trust me, I got a lot of arctic fur here. Also another cool thing is that you have a vendor where you can sell the grey and white items that drop from them literally 100 yards away. So we made around 370 gold for 10 minutes of farming, which again means around 2.2k gold per hour, and considering how easy it is to farm here, it's pretty nice. Spot number 10. Worms farming and Silithus. Far away from Northrend, we jump back to the most southern part of Kalimdor, Silithus. Here there is a pretty interesting way to farm gold. Go around in a small circle and kill dredge strikers. These little worms are kinda annoying because they always charge and stun you, but trust me, it's worth it. The interesting part about them is that they can drop from 1 to 6 rugged leather, which is crazy. They also drop thick leather and can even drop rugged and thick leather at the same time. Here in this farm I made a mistake. I forgot to clear my bags before I started, and I don't have a mammoth or Jeeves, so I'm constantly stopping to clean space in my bags. But despite of that, we made around 500 gold for 10 minutes of farming. That's around 2.8k gold per hour. I told you, worth it. Spot number 9. Maul North mastiff farming. Back to the red leather farm, here you can also do some decent profit. The problem is that you're gonna need 2-3 different characters to maintain farming, but I'm still gonna include it in the list. When you reach Maul North, you need to enter through this door. You need a key, but because I don't have one, I will just pull some mobs and die so I can enter through the door and show you. After you get in, like 50 yards from the entrance, there is this pit, and those packs of Gordok mastiffs, you pull them, kill them, they drop from 1 to 2 red leather, 1 to 2 thick leather, star rubies, and a lot more green items, which some of are transmog items and are worth a lot of gold. The downside, you need 3 accounts, and you need a key to enter on all 3, but in the long run, it's worth it. Here I did only one run just to show you, and we made 157 gold in just 3 minutes, so that's more than 2.5k gold per hour. Consider it. Spot number 8. Hearthglen, Western Plaguelands. Some of you all know, but many don't. There is 2 famous caves in Western Plaguelands. One of them is this. Basically, you have 5 to 6 really close to each other mining nodes that spawn with a timer of around 3 to 4 minutes, which is pretty good. You don't need to run around the entire map, plus there is a decent density of humanoid mobs near, which you can kill while you wait for the nodes to respawn, and can make some good side profit. Thorium sells pretty nice. Also, there is a lot of green quality gems that drop, and to be honest, the yield is pretty good. You can see that for 10 minutes of farming we made 318 gold, which is around 2k gold per hour, and considering you just stay at one spot and it's extremely chill, it's pretty good. Spot number 7. The Weeping Cave. Again in Western Plaguelands, this cave also has a lot of spawn nodes near each other, but here there is a different bonus. If you kill these mobs, they drop oozing bags, which have a chance to drop the disgusting oozling pet, which sometimes sells for up to 1k gold in the auction house. Also, all of the other mobs here drop low level orbs, so be sure to clear everything, because Strangle Kelp for example costs around 10 gold a piece in the auction house. Why lose the gold? You might get some competition here sometimes, but it's mostly free. We made 393 gold for 10 minutes of farming, which is pretty good. That's more than 2.3k gold per hour. Definitely consider this. Spot number 6. Stratholme. Why Stratholme, may you ask? Because there is no competition, because there is tons of vendor items for pure gold, tons of transmog and green items, some of which cost pretty good gold, and the most important, pristine black diamonds. Those diamonds go up to 400 gold on the auction house, because they are much needed for people who want to farm the insane title. I assure you that if you got some, you will sell them pretty quickly. Also, watch out for some expensive librams, because some of them go as up to 300 gold a piece. Here I did almost a full run, just to show you, but sadly I didn't have any luck for a diamond to drop. But still, we made 524 gold in 14 minutes, and this is a bad run if I might say so. Definitely worth considering. Spot number 5. Onslaught Harbor, Ice Crown. What is the best part about Onslaught Harbor? Tons and tons of humanoids. And what does that mean? Tons of quad, green-blue items and damage necklaces. The whole idea is just to kill, loot, repeat. The mobs here drop some pretty good raw gold, pretty expensive grey items and some green-blue items that you can actually sell on the auction house. Worth mentioning is that you will still need a somewhat decent geared character, and sometimes you might have some competition, but almost every good farm spot is like this, so you will need to find a way to farm that fits you. For 12 minutes of farming, we made 563 gold, which is more than 2.7k gold per hour. I really recommend you to try this spot. Spot number 4. Scholomance. Scholomance is almost the same as Stratholme, full of mobs, a lot of green and blue items, and there is even a pretty decent chance to get pristine black diamonds here. I mean, you will need a key, but it's worth to invest 30 minutes to farm the key and try. Also, it's one step closer to the Keymaster achievement. Mobs here drop dark runes, which go for around 20 to 30 gold a piece on the auction house, and this is also some steady profit. It will also feel like a labyrinth at the start, but when you do some runs, you will get used to it, and it's a really easy road. As you can see, I did a full run for 10 minutes and we made 490 gold. That's around 2.8k gold per hour. Pretty decent, I might say. Spot number 3, Blackrock Spire, heavy Junkbox farm. As we discussed earlier, farming pristine black diamonds for the insane title. Now we're back on the same track, but this time we're talking about heavy Junkboxes. These boxes are used for the Ravenhold reputation, and they are the only way to get to Exalted, so everyone who wants to get the title will need tons, and I really say tons of them to get the title, so this is a really good business for you. The only way you can get them is by pickpocketing with a rogue, and the best spot is lower Blackrock Spire. I will leave the time-lapse on screen so you can see my personal route, and the thing I like about it is that by the time you complete the route, the first mob and the dungeon have already reset their timers, and that way you can farm without even resetting the dungeon. It's one continuous farm. Also, if you're wondering how I pickpocket the mob so quickly, you're gonna need a macro, and you can see it on screen now. You can just mouse over and pickpocket. This is the quickest way. I did one run for 8 minutes and I got 551 gold. When I've set the box price to 20 gold per box, which is actually a low price, but just to test it, I'm being as realistic as possible. That's around 3.8k gold per hour. The best we have so far. Spot number 2, Skettis, Terokkar Forest. For the first time from the start of the video, we jump to Outland, and here we are going to show you our first hybrid farm so far. The whole idea here to be effective is to have a character with both mining and urbanism. There is 4 big tree mobs like the one that I just killed, as you saw, and you can gather herbs from them. They drop a ton of herbs, some of which are really expensive. Also, you will know that there will always have big demand for them because people farming Darkmoon decks are using Outland herbs all the time. And while you wait, you can mine all of the adamantite ores nearby, and there is some pretty good spawn rate of corium also. You just go around in circles, gather all of the herbs and mines that you can, kill the 4 big mobs, and if you are really fast, there is always tons of mobs from Skettis that you can kill for cloth, vendor items and even green-blue items. And for 15 minutes of farming, we made 573 gold, which is around 2.3k gold per hour. But trust me, this number will go up, I promise you. Give it a try. And finally, spot number 1. Farming Primal Might in Nagrand and Netherstorm. Now this is split between 2 spots, but the idea is the same. You farm elementals. One spot is here in Nagrand, and you have tons of air, fire and earth elementals that you can farm. And these elementals have quite a price, trust me. Here is one of the few possible spots to farm Mold of Air, which costs around 7 gold per mold, and people actually buy it, because they need it for professions and especially to craft Primal Might. You can farm air, fire and earth here. All of the mobs have around 3 minutes timer, so by the time you kill all, the first ones will respawn. And as you can see, in Nagrand we made 434 gold for 11 minutes, which is around 2.4k gold per hour. Let's jump to Netherstorm for part 2 now. The plan here is absolutely the same. You have tons of ads around area 52 that drop Mold of Mana. I will leave the time-lapse so you can see the type of mobs that I kill, and you get the point of it. It's a little bit hard at the start, but when you get used to it, you're gonna farm them quickly. So after around 10 minutes we made 336 gold, which is 1869 gold per hour. Not as good as the other spots, but the idea is deeper than this. When you gather enough elementals, you can learn Transmutation Master with a character you have alchemy on. And you can craft Primal Might. Current price is 250 gold per piece. And you can proc from 1 to 3 Primal Mights per cast, so that 1.8k gold can turn into 3k gold per hour. It just requires time. So this wraps up everything. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you have, please drop a like and click that subscribe button. Also, you can use the comments and tell me what is the next video that you would like to see. Thank you.